The political and economic tensions between Canada and the United States have reached a boiling point.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has publicly condemned U.S. President Donald Trump's latest wave of tariffs, calling them dumb and suggesting they're part of a deliberate strategy to destabilize Canada's economy. This shocking accusation has ignited fierce debates and fears of a full-blown trade war between the two neighboring nations. In a sudden and controversial move, the Trump administration announced steep tariffs on Canadian goods, including a 25% duty on steel and aluminum and a 10% levy on Canadian energy exports. This decision has sent shockwaves through both countries' economies, with analysts warning of severe disruptions to North American supply chains and skyrocketing costs for consumers.
Trudeau wasted no time firing back, labeling the tariffs as a reckless and hostile attack on Canada's economic sovereignty. "This is not just about trade," Trudeau declared in a heated press conference.
"This is about an attempt to cripple the Canadian economy, to push us to the brink.
And we won't stand for it."
Refusing to take Trump's measures lying down, Trudeau announced an aggressive retaliation. Canada has imposed 25% tariffs on $155 billion worth of American goods, targeting key U.S. industries like agriculture, automotive, and consumer products.
This tit-for-tat response has only intensified the hostility between the two nations, with both leaders refusing to back down. "We are polite, but we're not pushovers," Trudeau said defiantly. "If Trump thinks he can bully us into submission, he's got another thing coming."
The most explosive claim, however, came when Trudeau suggested that Trump's ultimate goal might be even more sinister: the collapse of Canada's economy to facilitate a U.S. takeover. Trudeau hinted that Trump's actions align with previous comments about making Canada the 51st state, fueling speculation that this trade war is about far more than tariffs. "It's not a stretch to think that Trump wants Canada weakened and vulnerable," Trudeau alleged. "When you look at his rhetoric and his actions, the pattern becomes clear." These allegations have sparked a firestorm of debate.
While some dismiss Trudeau's claims as political posturing, others believe there's real cause for concern.
The idea that the U.S. could be aiming to destabilize its closest ally for strategic gain has divided public opinion and raised questions about Trump's true motives.
The economic fallout from this escalating conflict has been immediate and severe. Global markets reacted negatively, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunging over 500 points in the wake of the tariff announcements.
Canadian businesses that rely on cross-border trade are bracing for devastating losses, and economists warn of rising inflation and job cuts on both sides of the border.
"This is economic warfare," said a senior financial analyst.
"Both countries stand to lose, but Canada's smaller economy makes it more vulnerable.
If this continues, the damage could be catastrophic." Within Canada, the response has been fierce.
Provincial leaders have thrown their weight behind Trudeau, announcing their own measures to punish American businesses. Ontario, for example, cancelled a major contract with Elon Musk's Starlink, and grassroots movements urging Canadians to boycott U.S. products are gaining momentum. "We need to support our own economy," said Ontario Premier Doug Ford.
"If the U.S. wants to play hardball, we'll hit them where it hurts."
Public sentiment is also shifting rapidly. Protests against Trump's policies have erupted across major Canadian cities, with demonstrators accusing the U.S. of economic imperialism.
The call to buy Canadian and reject American goods has never been louder. The Canada-U.S. standoff is quickly becoming a global issue.
Mexico has announced its own retaliatory measures against U.S. tariffs, while China has imposed new sanctions on American products in response to Trump's broader trade war policies. The growing coalition of countries pushing back against the U.S. threatens to isolate America on the world stage.
Despite the mounting pressure, neither Trump nor Trudeau shows any signs of backing down.
The prospect of a long, bitter economic battle looms large, with the potential to reshape international trade alliances and political dynamics for years to come.
As accusations fly and economic consequences mount, the question remains: is this just a trade dispute, or the beginning of something far more dangerous?
Only time will tell, but for now, the world watches with bated breath as two of North America's biggest powers inch closer to the brink.